Duperas y Duperas. Today on Dupe by the River, we continue on the MLS offseason as we have a very special guest that we're going to introduce to you in just a little bit. Of course, the U.S. men's national team punched their ticket into the round of 16. We are all really excited about what's going on here with our U.S. men's national team and, of course, with our boy Brendan Aronson as well. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you dare go anywhere because you do not want to miss this episode of Dupe by the River. And let's get it started, guys.
Dupe by the River
doesn't do anything well. There is not one.
I'm sorry. There was no creativity.
As a Union fan, I take that all day.
Another DP. We need to go get Mario Balotelli. And that is right. Wow, I like the transition, StreamYard. Thank you so much for that. Well, welcome everybody to Dupe by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union. And of course, we are brought to you by Philly Sports Network. Before we dive into today's episode of Dupe by the River, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we are live right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're on YouTube. We're on Dupe by the River's Twitter account as well. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe for your future viewings of Dupe by the River. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us wherever you stream podcasts from Apple, Google, and Spotify. Find us under Dupe by the River podcast. Awesome stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, it's been a little bit as we've been back here. Of course, we've been straight into this offseason as we're getting excited and moving forward and trying to move past the MLS Cup final. And of course, the World it's funny because the World Cup, it just feels a little bit weird. You know, you look outside and it's a little bit cold. You got a little bit of a chill in the air. And we have World Cup soccer to be played, right? And it's kind of weird to kind of feel, but I feel like it's been at the right time that we do have this World Cup here for us. It's definitely exciting. And of course, as we all know, I'm a Colombian national team soccer fan, and it just kind of sucks not being able to be a part of the action, being part of the show, the big dance over there in Qatar. But it's fun living vicariously through all of you guys. I know we don't have just U.S. men's national team fans. We got Mexican national team fans, which I do feel bad about after what happened today. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, I love living vicariously through you guys as well. So it's definitely a lot of freaking fun. But let's get our special guest on here now, guys. Our guest here today, Mr. Adam Booth. You guys know Mr. Adam Booth. What's up, Adam? How you feeling, brother? I'm glitching out. We'll try Adam a little bit. Adam, you don't have to come on with the video if you can't get it going. No worries, man. As long as we got some audio, we will get Mr. Adam Booth in here. I'm excited to talk to Adam, man. Dude, there's no one better in the offseason to talk to than with Mr. Adam Booth. And of course, he comes with some great we're gonna talk about some of the Sons of Ben stuff, which I'm excited to kind of get with Adam Booth, and that's definitely part of today's episode. But I love seeing Kevin Show going all in with his Argentina. Who would have thought that Group C ending, guys, was wild. I don't think I watched a group stage like Group C World Cup action. This literally came down to the wire. And think about it. Just think about this. Mexico gets eliminated after a 2-1 win. That's freaking crazy to me. They win 2-1, and literally Saudi Arabia gets a goal in injury time and eliminates Mexico from the round 16. And Poland is on. Shouts to Port Richmond. Y'all should be celebrating down there. Get your kielbasa on. Go celebrate. Go enjoy it. But we're gonna try one more time with Mr. Adam Booth. Adam, can you hear me? Oh, hey. Can you hear us, Adam? We'll get him in a second, guys. I like the jersey, though.
Let's see. Hold on.
All right, no worries, Adam.
Having some technical difficulties.
I'm
still trying to figure it out.
Hard business.
Audio.
We're just gonna sit here and admire Adam's beautiful, beautiful Philadelphia Fusion jersey. White and the black is clean. Vertical stripes. It's definitely sick. And of course, Adam brings the scarves as well. Let's go, man. Let's get it. We're gonna get this, guys. No worries at all. Hey, Adam breaks
There
the
it is.
tunes, dude. There we
Wow.
go.
Took forever, but hey, how you doing?
What's up, Adam? How you feeling, brother?
I'm good. How about yourself, my guy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to catch up with you, man. It's been too long, brother.
It really has. It actually really has.
Dude, well, first off, as we were talking about before we were trying to get your audio, that jersey is sick. For those who are listening, Adam's got the Philadelphia Fusion jersey on.
Oh, yeah.
Is this on the recent one that this
No.
season?
So this is when they still cared about how they looked in person. This is from like season. I actually think it's like from season 1. I want to say this is from 2017. This was the third jersey that they had because that was back in the day when they cared about things like that. So yeah, this is the
pre-COVID.
Yeah, long time ago when LAN parties were happening everywhere. You know, the good old days.
It's so true, man. Well, listen, Adam. Well, it's good seeing you here, man. But I do want to, talk about some of the Sons of Ben stuff with you, man. And first off, I just do want to ask, man. So, what is life like after hanging up the megaphone, man?
Boring.
You're not even in the season yet. Wait till you get to the season. You're gonna be like Brett Favre.
Right? No, I get why Tom Brady can't
That's
retire quickly. I get. No, it's actually. I don't think it's gonna be something that I truly acknowledge until it actually happens. Like when we get back out there for another season, and March and February rolls around, and league fixtures are starting to be put together. That's when I know what kind of choice I made. I still believe I made a good choice. Like I don't regret what I did in any capacity, mainly just because I'm tired.
I feel that.
Like I'm tired, and I'm like I got a lot coming up in 2023. I'm having 2 weddings because I thought one wasn't enough. I'm having 2 weddings
for yourself.
Yeah, same person, by the way, too. People were concerned.
Not no Ronaldinho stuff over here.
No, right? No, I'm Mario Icardi out here, just getting everyone's girlfriends. No. Same woman, but yeah. Look, I started doing this when I was 26. I'm 32 now. That's not necessarily old by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely old in Capo years. I've definitely seen some things and done some stuff. Highly wouldn't recommend it. And yeah, I think and more importantly, I wanted to make sure that the person representing the head capo position, which is not a real thing, by the way, it's barely a real position. It was just kind of like a formal thing to call me because they just knew I was going to lead most of the operations. But I just felt like, if I'm going to be missing probably a good chunk of the season for various activities, that someone else should probably be holding the reins while I'm gone for a while. So
was the decision solely based off just life events?
Yeah, I mean, like it was, to be honest with you, and I told this to the Capos, and like we have a Capo Facebook group that just kind of has all of us in it. And I kind of told them going into the group, like next season was going to be my last season regardless. Okay. Whatever was going to happen, whether positive or negative, next season it was it for me. Mainly just because I'm tired. Like I do miss weekends where I don't feel obligated to be a place. I do miss especially with like my other job of working with the Phoenix. That means I still gotta work on weekends anyway with another sports team anyway. So it was like, double dipping, not having one weekend after another, all of that started to kind of wear on me a little bit. And having that incident against NYCFC where I had to go to the hospital, all of that was like, all right, this might be a sign,
Dude, what exactly happened? When I heard you were in the hospital, I was like, no.
Yeah. No, the wheels were starting to come off already. So
you were like Allie out there, man.
Right, exactly. So basically what happened was And everyone wants to blame it on the brunch I had. It was like 6 hours after that. I went to brunch. I had a good brunch, and then I decided to show up extra late to the tailgate because like I wasn't even feeling it that particular day. I was just like, all right, whatever. Obviously, I have a game today. Obviously, I'm going to Capo, but like I don't need to be at the tailgate for 4 hours. I just don't feel like it. And people are very generous to me when I get in the stadium. And they give me, or I get to the tailgates at least, they give me a lot of alcohol. A lot of alcohol is given to me. A lot of various forms of alcohol. It could be tequila. It could be rum. It could be all like, and everyone wants me to, like, everyone has their own like batch that they made in their house. And like, everyone's like, Adam, make me try this. I just made it 5 days ago. It's 275 proof. I'm like, cool. So you made motor oil. Fabulous. Let me have some. Let me knock this down real quick with your Quaker State. Yeah, let's do it. But yeah, so it was very hot that day. It was in the upper 90s. I had not drank enough water. Even though I drank 4 bottles of water, I needed 6. I recognize that. And yeah, and here's the funny part. I made it through the whole game, right? It was when I was overly celebrating after winning is when my body was like, okay, Sailor, you did all you could do today. And like, it was funny too, because like I started to cramp on my sides, which is not like unheard of for a Capo, because we yell a lot. So like our diaphragm is getting a serious workout. So like our sides are not immune to cramping. So I thought that was it. And then it just went down to my legs, went down my thighs, went down my calves. And I was like, okay, so the whole body is seizing now. Like all my muscles have decided we're done here. And I actually leaned up against one of the security guards I know. And I just said, I need you to call someone. I'm not sure who, but I feel like I can't walk right now. Like that was literally, and then I just laid down as a precautionary thing. I just laid on the ground. And I was like, hi, everyone. I'm not dead. I just need to lay down because I can't move and I don't want to like fall over and have this be a problem. So long story short, a trip to Jefferson in Center City for a 6-hour evaluation later.
Chester, back to Center City, they drove you?
So no, so basically what happened was members of the EMS team that work union games are with Kaiser Health, which is one of the local hospitals in Delco, in Chester specifically. So they said, hey, where are you going? Because we kind of want you to go to a hospital just to get looked at. It's like, well, I live in Center City. Can I just go to Jeff? And they're like, that's fine. I don't recommend you driving there. So my fiance and 2 of her friends drove to Chester from Center City to pick me up to drive me to Jeff.
That's love.
That's love. That's love, man. I mean, I'm also marrying her, so I'm hoping she's coming to get me. Like, that's also like, if I got no legs, need to pick. I'm concerned if she doesn't come get me. I'm like, all right, well, what did I sign up for exactly here? This doesn't sound like forever to me. I'm just
Ryan, yes. Listen, Uni fans make a lot of stuff, brother. It's not just moonshine. We'll make whatever we got, man.
That's the beauty of the Sons of Ben, though, because like a lot of supporters groups are a bunch of kids. Like you have a lot of supporters groups that are like there's a gift and a curse to like LAFC supporters group, because they're just like, we're all just a bunch of like 20 to 40 somethings from the general area, but it's like also like you have no adults in the room, so it's just like you also just have like a bunch of people just hanging out. Like they mean well, but eventually you need someone to be like, hey, don't throw that, and they don't have that. They don't have that. So that's one of the benefits of the Sons of Ben. And then the second benefit of that is everyone's old enough to know how to do things on their own, including make alcohol. And I'm really grateful for that. Like, I'm really grateful for the part of Pennsylvania that is America, that they're like, yeah, we're going to make our own whiskey this weekend. And I'm like, okay, cool. Bring it to Chester and watch me go blind. Let's do it.
And then you had me, like when I used to drink heavy, and I would bring Aguardiente Sons of Bento.
That's what I'm saying. Like this was everyone brought their own brand. This diverse ass city. I'm drinking Ethiopian. I'm drinking Colombian. I'm drinking German. I'm drinking South by Southwestian. Like it's all terrible. And then I have to Capo. I don't think anyone does anyone think about that? Like, oh hey, I got Adam hammered. Let's see if he remembers any of the chants we told him about this weekend via DM on Twitter.
Adam Street at Dennis Rodman out here showing up to play. I love it.
All I am. Can we agree? Here's the thing. All American chants are embarrassing.
I don't mind this one though, Adam. I don't mind this one.
All American chants are cringe. All of them. Every single one of them are cringe. And the reason why they're cringe is Americans aren't creative. I gotta be real with you. We gotta have this come to Jesus moment as a soccer supporter.
I'll be real, yeah.
Look, it was all fun and games when America was like that weird uncle that didn't really care but still participated anyway. It was like the guy, like you always have that one uncle who's like, I don't want to play the touch football game on Thanksgiving, but damn it, I'll play tight end, whatever. It's fine. That's literally what Major League Soccer, or American soccer was for the longest time, was just like, we'll go play in these tournaments. We don't expect to win them. We don't expect to even progress long in them, but we'll just show up. Now, if you want these people to be good, I believe that we will win, and It's Called Soccer cannot be your go-to chance. Like, we sound like a middle school. And, like, not even a cool middle school. Like, a middle school in, like, middle of nowhere, Indiana. And we're watching our badminton team. And we're like, yeah, good. No, like, I got English people who are singing entire songs, lyric for lyric, that were written in, like, 1872. And I'm over here being like, it's called soccer. I'm like, it's just.
And it's like the typical, it's called soccer.
No, that's
same
what I'm
beat, same.
We had like this was I can't like look. I came from a background of college basketball. That's where I cut my teeth.
Shouts to doubleheader tonight.
Yeah, shout out to the Hawks. We got a doubleheader tonight at the Palestra. It's gonna be
yes, sir.
But yeah, like that's like college basketball was the only aspect of like American sports culture that resembled Europe to me. Because that was the only area where like uniformity in dress was a thing. Like everyone's wearing the same t-shirt. We all know the same chants. We all have like a song to sing because it's like our alma mater of the university. We sing the song. Like you have all of these traditions. You got streamers. You got the drum. You got all these things. There was no sport in America that resembled Europe or South America or even Asia the way college basketball was. And that's where I cut my teeth. So it's like when I got to the Sons of Ben, it was a natural transition. But even at MLS levels, it's just like we use the same chants everyone else uses. We just throw our team name in there. And I'm like, we need some more creativity up in this, which is an irony for a head capo to say. But yeah, no, that was creativity.
For those who are listening, Ivan's question is, can we all agree it's called soccer chant that's being sung by American fans down in Qatar? He deems it as embarrassing. I get where you guys are saying. For me, I think what makes a chant so great, it's kind of like why I love No One Likes Us. Mm-hmm. It's a chant that pisses other people off, right? And like, let's be honest. Like when we're showing our pride and piss other people off, like we kind of do like that. Let's be real with one another. And I think that's why I don't mind, and especially someone who is an American soccer fan. It's called soccer. It's called football over here. It's called soccer here. If I go to Colombia, it's football. If I go to Italy, it's calcio. I just think that I don't see why it's a big deal. But, it is what it is. PJ, what's going on? Dude, PJ, I appreciate that, man. Legendary Union podcast line up right here, man. I really appreciate that, Jay. Good stuff, man. With that being said, Adam, so for those who are going to be sitting in the River's End now, who's next in line? Who's the next Daniel Gazdak or I guess Paxton Harrison? Who's gonna be replacing Adam Booth, man?
Oh my God.
People prepared.
No one. I'm irreplaceable. I don't know if you've heard. I'm kind of a big deal. So look, it's I'm like Larry Bird walking into the 3-point shooting contest. Who's here for number 2? Like who's here for second place? No, I believe that we have a great group of individuals that I've been working with for the past couple of years already. I do, and one of the things I took pride in was I felt that we were gaining more people in the section, like in terms of people who wanted to be capos. You know, shout out to Drew, who came in mid-season and worked his ass off all year. He even got his own Twitter handle as Skinny Jean Capo. Like that to me, like that's personality. That's the stuff that I like to see, you know, like lean. Our job is seriously unserious. You know, we're grown ass cheerleaders that look worse than cheerleaders. That's basically our entire shtick. So it's like lean into the funny, lean into the interesting and all that. Like, don't take your job seriously. I always thought there was any criticism I always had for previous regimes with the Sons of Ben or even any supporters group is capos who took the job too seriously. That annoyed the hell out of me. Like, we're here for a game. And if like someone doesn't want to do the chant, it ain't on them automatically that they're the person who's in the wrong. Maybe the chant sucks. You know, maybe it's just not an appropriate time for said chant. You know, so like
Maybe they just want cheap seats, Adam.
And here's the thing. That's okay. Like that is like we have to also have that moment where we're like the cheap seat people are okay. Like that's not hurting us as an organization to have people who are curious about the game show up. Like that's what that says to me. You did not want to spend $60 to bring you and your daughter or whatever out to the game. That's 100% fair. You want to only spend 50, you don't want to you wanted to keep it as low cost as possible, and you want to just see what's happening in Chester. I hate the idea that we could gatekeep that in a way that makes that person not want to come back after that. That shit annoys me. So, like, no, not every time are you going to get a new family in there. Are they going to stand the whole time? Is it on the ticket? Of course it's on the ticket. And do you enforce it when you can? Sure. Like, I'm still going to tell that kid you can't wear red. I'm also going to get him a t-shirt. You know, like, that's the biggest. Like, I was talking to Devin because we recorded Sons of Ben the Pod yesterday down at the stadium. And I was telling him, like, and this is even before we were talking about, like, one of the things about being a capo that I think set me apart, and I mean this in the most non-arrogant way humanly possible, was I was willing to talk to people. You know, like I was willing to chat with people before games. I was willing to be like, hey, how you doing? I'm Adam Booth. I'm your capo today. Like, I'm the person. If you have any thoughts, got any song ideas, I'll be the person you yell at. Any concerns, any questions, you come to me. That, I think, made a difference, you know? And, like, that's for any capo that comes after me, whether it's Jarrett, Rob, Eric, you know, any of the individuals. As long as you're a people person, as long as you talk to the people, and as long as you understand you're a servant, you know, you're a public servant in this moment. You're not a star. You're not. This isn't about you. This isn't about Kim taking photos about you. You know, while you look good. That's a perk. Don't get me wrong. No one's been more photographed than me, so that's a perk. But you know,
City Hall, baby.
Exactly. Man, they're trying to get me that banner, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do with that. That thing is 2 stories tall. Like, what am I like? Where I have an apartment.
Hang it from your balcony, Adam. What do you mean?
I have an apartment. I don't even have a balcony. I'd have to hang it out a window, and it would cover 2 other floors worth of people's windows. Like, it would definitely be a HOA violation out the wazoo. Like, there's no place in America outside like a penthouse or like a compound in Miami where I can just display this and it's not gauche, to say the least. But yeah, like that's it. So a long-winded answer to say is I think it's going to be a committee. I think it's going to be a lot of people. I think you're going to see a lot of Jared, obviously, because he's got a lot of passion and he is what you want in an individual who to cheer for a team, because that's 100% all the time. There is never a slowdown. And I have to tell Jarrett from time to time, breathe, my guy. You know, it's okay. We're good. Like, we're good. Like, I gotta be like, you know, fans are good, team's good, we're good, you know. but yeah, I think as a collective, it's going to be. I think the organization's in good shape. I think this is a transition. The elephants in the room is a transition. We lost Matt left. Jess is going to step back again in her role. Devin's leaving, so it's a different Sons of Ben than it was 365 days ago. I still think it's great. I still think it's going to be a well-oiled machine, and it's one of those classic things. Look, I'm an African American gentleman. Our culture is all about leaving the next. It's the next revolution, and African culture is, or at least African American culture, is always based off of repetition. It's always based off of trial and error. But the beauty is when those repetitions have additions to them, when each revolution adds something on top of it. So I believe what we've done so far is amazing, but I do believe there is more additions to be added to the revolution and make it even better.
I think it's a key word right there. I think a big part of life is evolving. And Sons of Ben, I mean, it's literally older than the club, right? And so it's gone through so many different phases. I mean, we'll probably have Father Ben, Jeff Mitchell on here talk about every single phase of Sons of Ben.
He's now a historian.
Yeah. He
has
quite literally.
Oral history of the Sons of Ben could be told you by Jeffrey Mitchell. Yes.
Seriously. But the capo position is so important from what you just said, because you guys kind of are like the connection between the club, the supporters group, and the fan base. And you guys are the energy. I mean, it's going to be weird. Every match day, I always look for you, Adam. I always like, yo, where's Adam at? Let me get a clip of Adam, because it was always that face that I knew that, man, let's have some fun, man. Let's watch some soccer for 90 minutes. Let's scream our freaking brains out, and let's try to get 3 points. And I do want to get to some of the Sons of Ben stuff, but I think that understanding that we are part of something bigger. That's why I always tell about Union fans. Like, I don't care how big of a Union fan you are. This is a baby of a league. I know it's 20. We're going to 28th season, 27th season, but this is still a baby. We are still putting in the groundwork of what could be one of the best soccer leagues in the world. You talked about the chance. We still can change that culture. We can be original. And I think that it doesn't take just the capos. It takes the fans, the club, and it takes everyone to keep evolving. And I think that's why I get so emotional before every big match, dude, because I'm a part of this, man. And it's so special because I love this club, man. And I really do thank people like you, Adam. Seriously, man. It is really big.
It is. Thank you. It's a labor of love. But no, I mean, look, without this becoming one of these, like, I love you. No, I love you, man. No, it's just, look, I think all of us have played a part in this. I think you yourself have played a part in growing the culture here, as well as a lot of other humans. And it's important too, because, and look, I've talked with Rich Leibowitz, one of the owners of the team. I talked to him. I text him decently amount. And one of the things I always talk about is this is a grassroots club in every sense of the way. Because, like, not even just the fact that we started because fans demanded it, because MLS did not find us as a viable market for 16 years of its iteration.
Wow. That's so wild.
Which is, okay, whatever, Jethro. It's fine. All right, you wait until the 14th year of the league to be like, that fourth largest media market we have. It'd be fun. They like sports, right? They like Philly. They like sports. Let me do sports. Let's do sports with Philly. Still looking at you, WNBA. But anyway, I digress. This is a grassroots club in every sense of the word. We started the club. We got ownership in here to believe in this situation. The Sons of Ben are as recognizable as the Union at this point, and especially in American soccer culture. I hear the stories from the supporters conferences, and the weight that the Sons of Ben pull at the supporters conferences is well known, because look, we had a Netflix documentary about us. We're a little bit different, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I don't mean that in we're better than you. Like, we're global, Jim, and we're better than you. No. We worked harder than 80% of fan bases in this country to get a team, to even have someone to root for. No one in Nashville was going to Atlanta United games and Orlando games and, going to DC United games and chanting for their own team. Like, no one was interrupting playoff games in New England to demand that MLS pay attention to them. That was Philadelphia, so that's why this thing is different here in particular, because the people who are here want to be here.
Yeah.
Like the people, we don't get as much casual foot traffic because we're in Chester, it's soccer, it's summertime, there's all these other things to do. So that everyone who's in there wants to be in there. And that's why, for me, the Eastern Conference Championship game felt so real, because it was a unmitigated sellout where the other team's supporters weren't that substantial of the percentages. Like NYFC brought a lot of people, but I didn't feel their presence in the way that I felt us, in other years I would have felt them. This time it felt different. I don't even know what question I'm answering anymore. All I know is the enthusiasm and the energy, it's different here. And again, like I told Rich, it's like you got to embrace the fact that you can't bullshit this people, because we are the people. Like, you can't bullshit us because we're the ones that brought this thing into existence in the first place, Like, you can't. This isn't this isn't an unassuming sports city that you're just going to drop Major League Soccer on and make a buck off of. No, you got to do something around here, and you got to make it work. But they appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have you recovered from the MLS Cup though?
No, nor will I ever, and I'm okay with that. There's no way that I'm going to look at the LAFC badge, Gareth Bale, Kellen Acosta, or any of those people ever again and not feel a tinge of ultimate sadness, because I don't know what to tell you. That was the worst loss of my life. That was the worst. That was the worst. And people are like, recency bias. I'm like, I cannot tell you in my 28 years of Philadelphia sports fandom, because I don't count 1 through 4. I don't remember those years, so I don't count those. But from 5 on, I remember that. I've never felt and the core of it was how drastic of emotion it went from one end to the other. Like, you beat me 6-0. Cool, we're out. If I was in LA, I would have had the time of my life regardless. It was cool to be here, happy, let's go get some fucking tacos. Let's call it a day. Everyone have a good time. Modelo's on me. To experience that type of a loss, I'm never going to be okay. I'm never going to be okay. I poured so much of my soul into last year. I know I'm not the only person, but I did. I was on balconies in Italy at 4 a.m. listening to Gazdag bang goals against Orlando and Portland. I was running in between a frisbee team and a soccer team on a regular basis, trying to make both games. Like, I was exhausted by the time MLS Cup rolled around. I even told some of my friends, I'm like, low-key, I'm kind of happy it's not in Philadelphia, because I don't think I emotionally could have handled trying to Capo that game. That would have been too much. Now, I would have loved it because we probably would have won, but that would have been a lot. Like, that would have been a lot for me. So
that was a wild match, dude. I mean, it was definitely heartbreaking. And I think what made it worse was, like, the Phillies get eliminated too on that same freaking day.
Oh, I blacked out. I was like, baseball's happening? Okay, cool. That's also a thing that might be
What's
happening.
a World Series? I don't know what you're talking about.
No. So, like, a lot of people know I was at a friend's wedding on vacation, and, like, I couldn't watch the game. So, like, hear me when I say this. I've never watched the game. I only got updates from my friends and ESPN alerts and things of that caliber. I saw 0.0 seconds of the MLS Cup final, and I plan on never watching it.
Wow, dude, I'm telling you, I forget, like, the Union part of my love, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a great soccer game.
No, I hear this all the time. Like, so many people have told me this is the greatest MLS game ever. Like, not even just playoff game. Like, this is the greatest MLS game of all time. And I will promise you I will watch 0.0 minutes of it
I mean,
as long as I live.
I definitely don't believe you for that. All right,
I haven't seen our goals. I didn't see their goals. I saw nothing. And it was great because I was out of the country at the time. So I just media blacked out. And I was like, nope. So by the time I got back to America, everyone was still talking about the World Series. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm good.
We lost the MLS Cup. What are you talking about?
So many people called me too. It was so sweet, but it was so tragic to get like 47 text messages from people being like, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, dude, I got that too. I was like, wow, thanks, but
because you'd be the only Union fan they knew. And they'd be like, oh yeah, you hurt, don't you?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I think you're in pain. Oh, let me give you a call.
Adam, I do want to look forward a little bit, just a little bit here.
Do we have to?
We got to win it, Adam. Now we have to win it. Obviously, we had Jim and Ernst on the presser, and I mean, it kind of made me feel very optimistic for the future. But look, so far, Corey and Paxton are gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've heard Jim and Ernst talk about center back, midfielder, and attacker. For you in particular, I mean, this was a really good team. Let's remember, guys.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need to see this offseason to feel good about MLS Cup potential next year?
You need another backup 10, but not one of Paxton's caliber. Okay. Because you don't want someone who's antsy behind. Like, you want someone who's a little antsy, like they think like they should be on the field, but they also know that they're playing behind an MVP candidate. So it's like, you ain't going to see it. Like, the Union need depth. Because
especially this year.
Yes. So this is easily the most talented Union team of all time, right? Like, right. I don't think that's not a shot in the dark there. Their payroll is abysmally, is comically low for the output they're getting from these players. And all these players are worth $1 million. So eventually when time to renegotiate happens, they're all going to either leave here or get the money that they deserve because they deserve it.
Yeah.
But it's one of these situations where the Union don't have the one guy to win you a soccer match. So you need it to be a team. And you need it to be a full fucking team. So you need it to be as depthful as possible. So, like, look, you lose Corey Burke. That's a bench piece. An amazing bench piece. Probably, if there's a 6th Man of the Year award, he probably gets it last season for just his effort and work. You lose Aronson, who is going to tear it up in Europe just like his brother and is going to put Medford once again on the map. You didn't lose anyone out of your starting lineup. Now, Bedoya is a year older. We shall see. Obviously, you're probably going to get more McGlynn action in there, which I'd rather have him on the left than the right, but it's hard to bench a guy like Leon Flock, right? So then what do you do? But you might lose Kai. I'm still not 100% sure he's gone. You might lose Kai. I do believe in Matt Real as serviceable. Because the left back position is difficult to find a really great player at. So if you have a good player, that's sometimes good enough. So I think Matt Real might be good enough. We shall see. But if you're to go back and encompass your whole question, I just need to see Ernst just reload a little bit. There's no rebuild. There's none of that. Just get a couple more bullets, and then we'll just move forward and try again next year. Because I still don't know who. LA's not better than us, So I don't see anyone in MLS being better than us next season with the roster that we have right this second. So I'm saying get a couple more bullets. You get the guys that you signed at the end of last year. Maybe they get some more minutes, and then we go from there.
I think your point about the midfield was very interesting because I said it even last year, Jamiro Montero, but 2019 version is what this team could use right now, because there was a point where Jamiro got a little bit too ahead of himself. Remember the little techer stuff he would do? He's like Ronaldinho the last season. It's dude, backs. Just pass the ball. Get the outlet, dude. Like, and I think that is what this team could really use as far as a depth piece goes. I don't know if that's a younger option. And I wanted to throw something else at you, Adam. One thing Ernst hasn't really tried to do was find a significant piece, whether that be a starter or a backup role, of an MLS vet who has been here and done that and understands how this league works. How do you feel about that?
I mean, you got Joe. I mean, Bendick is basically.
You gave me Bendick face.
Look, he's the epitome of MLS veteran to come in as a backup. You know,
What's he playing for, like 6 clubs now? Is this a 6th club in the MLS?
Look, I think so. I can think about at least 3 off the top of my head, if not 4. So, you know, we might be the 6th club, but it's got to be a good fit. You know, it's got to be a good fit because this is what you're dealing with, my guy. We're talking about a team that put together the greatest goal differential in the history of the league, put together one of the greatest offensive seasons of all time, while simultaneously putting together one of the greatest defensive seasons of all time. You know, like, what do you like? You don't need anything. This is probably the most infuriating part of the whole MLS Cup thing is,
we need Ronaldo.
no, you don't need anything. You don't need to do literally anything. I think a year more of Ura and Carranza maturing in the system is better than signing anyone, is really my answer to that. Like, I believe Gazdag with this level of confidence is better than signing anyone. You're not going to get drastically better at any one position, or do you need to? There's no glaring weakness here.
Adam, I won't lie to you that I may or may have not messaged the Dupe by the River group chat once the Jordan Morris news came out. I may or may have not messaged them. Like,
he's not starting though. He doesn't start though.
No, dude, but like, imagine him like coming off of, and he's used to playing as a winger, right? Well, dude, playing in the second half, 30 minutes, play free football or soccer. Sorry,
the man just asked for DP money from Seattle.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. They're all just like, we want our money.
Here's the thing: if you're an MLSer, you should be. You should. This is the time where the workforce of the MLS should rise up and finally ask to be paid more than $600,000 a year. And they should.
We didn't raise that. You know who's going to pay Jordan Morris? Chicago Fire.
And then he's going to do absolutely jack shit up there because Chicago Fire is where talent goes to die. You know, Ash Shaqiri and Schweinsteiger and Fabian Herbers and Casper Shabilko and CJ Sapong and everyone else in between. Chicago is just where talent goes to fucking die. But it's like, look, you don't need anything. And you don't need anything that's going to be a disruptor. That's what I'm saying. Like, you go get like a Teal Bunbury. That's who you go get, right? You go get an MLS vet who you know is not going to eat too much of your salary, and his ego is such where he's not going to actually demand minutes.
Yes.
You know, because the only part of the team that needs veteran leadership is the final third. Which we saw that in the games. Like, I was at the Charlotte game where Bedoya didn't play. And I would say Bedoya not playing was as big of an issue there than anything else. It was just
Daniel Rios, man.
Well, it was, and look, shout out to Charlotte. Great atmosphere down there. Pancake Poppy, love the guy they're doing down there. But that was Lemony Snicket's that I watched that day. That was a series of unfortunate events that led to they gave up a bad goal. They couldn't rescore. Wagner gets a red card, and then the floodgates open. There is nothing about that game that said to me, man, Charlotte's good. Like, wow, Charlotte's really good. Like, no, we were really bad. And it was the only bad game we had all season. Like, all season, it was the only game where you just said, man, the Union are out of this from Jump Street. You were like, this is over. This is like, we're not bad, but these guys are over. I had to watch that shit in HD I was on the touch line. I had front row seats brought to you by Bimbo and the Philadelphia Union. And I had to watch us get destroyed, but I got free cocktails, so it's nice.
That's always a plus. That is always a plus for sure. Well, Adam, listen, we got a little tournament going down in Qatar right now. Yesterday.
Yes.
Great day, man. Great day for the U.S. men's national team. U.S. fans, great 2 days because obviously El Tri, that was a hard loss too as well, man. But first off, with the U.S. men's national team,
yes,
your kind of your thoughts, your takeaways. Obviously, there's a lot of mixed emotions with American fans. So for you, man, your thoughts after yesterday.
We're not good. We're not. We're not good. We're better than other people, but we are not good. And we're gonna I don't think it's the Netherlands might not expose us. Argentina is going to boat race us in a way that is going to set back. Like, we might have to negotiate the Falklands back to Argentina. How bad this is about to be.
No, legitimately, we're not good yet. We will be. I believe the 2026 team is going to be phenomenal because I believe in the talent level. There's a lot of talent on the U.S. national team. They're just a bunch of kids in Tim Ream, though, and that's the problem. Like, you're not going to have Christian Pulisic score off his dick every game. That's not going to be how this team is going to win a fucking World Cup. It's just not.
Hershey, Pennsylvania's different, y'all.
Look, just rock, flag, and eagle. All right, but like legit, like we scored 2 goals in 3 games against Wales, England, and Iran. 2 goals, 3 games. Now 2 shutouts, and probably should have been a 3rd one if Walker Zimmerman can just keep his feet to himself. But we cannot score goals at all. And why did we bring Jesus Ferreira to Qatar if we're never going to use him? Just out of curiosity. Haji Wright obviously isn't the answer. The man's trash. Josh Sargent isn't the answer. The man's kind of also trash. On a international level. Domestically, for their clubs, they're great. On an international level, they're trash. I'm here for the Brendan Aronson / Gino Arena false 9, where you just put him in front of Tyler Adams and say you just run around and cause havoc, as opposed to trying to actually play with a natural striker because
we don't have one in the entire nation. In a country of 370 million people, we don't have one who can consistently kick a ball into a net.
That's crazy, man. All the athletes we have in this country, we can't produce a number 9. I feel like I'm in Colombia again.
And here's the beauty. The best American striker in the world right now plays for Canada.
Oh, Jonathan David. Is that
Plays for Canada. Born and raised New Yorker, plays for Canada. That hurts more than any of these. Every time someone gets mad that we lost someone to the Mexican national team, who is out of the tournament, by the way, I'm always like, no. Wait until the Canadians start poaching our people, and then that's a problem. And look at us now. Imagine Jonathan David with this team. Like, seriously, just imagine that level of talent with Timothy Way and Christian Pulisic flanking him.
Y'all were worried about the wrong country.
I'm just saying. I'm just like, man, it's funny being one of those countries that's used to siphoning off of other people's talent and then get your own talent jacked from you. That's rough.
That is definitely rough.
That sucks. And he chose Canada. Like, at the time, that was a bold ass strategy. It was like, no, I see what they're building here. You know, retrospect, it looks great, but that is just like, what you doing?
And yet, United States, the only CONCACAF team. Oh, wait, Costa Rica qualified? No, we got them.
Man, Costa Rica did it after Spain. They should have sent Costa Rica home immediately.
And they won.
If you lose 7-0 in the World Cup, you got to go home. I'm sorry, you don't
it's
get
a mercy rule. You got to go.
You got to go. You weren't meant to be there. That's the problem with CONCACAF. I'm always like, we need more CONCACAF spots, but whoever we set in the 4th position is always doo-doo to like the umpteenth degree. Like what was it? Panama 4 years ago. Everyone kicked Panama in the teeth. I think we said Honduras a couple of years ago.
2010. Remember Spain spanked them?
Like, yeah, I'm saying Panama was like, what are we doing here? Two of our center backs play for the Sounders. What are we doing right now?
That is rough, man. That is rough. I wanted to ask you though. For me, one of the craziest parts of watching the U.S. men's national team has been the fact that one of the most promising young players in the world, in Gio Reyna, has played 12 minutes. Now, from a lot of people have told me he's a defensive liability. I get that, but what I noticed against Wales and what I noticed against Iran, you guys went all in. You guys were attacking the soccer ball. Why wouldn't you at least start Gio?
This is the problem you have when your roster is constructed poorly. Okay? Like, you have 2 center backs I trust. Maybe. Right? You know, what's his face can do no wrong. Tim Ream's fine. Papa Ream here for him and his veteran leadership and all of that. Walker Zimmerman's trash. Cameron Vickers is kind of okay. I don't know how John Brooks doesn't make this team. I don't know how Mark McKenzie doesn't sniff this team because your center back pairing is terrible. I'm not sold on Dest as a right back. He has flashes, but like I would love him as a wing back. Like if we're playing 3 in the back and I got some wing backs going, like if I got Yedlin on one side and Dest on the other, I'm liking that. But as a natural right back, do I like it? I don't know. This roster has a lot of talent, but I think it's poorly constructed. I think it's the really core of it. You know, you don't have a striker. And it's just like, it's really embarrassing that we had 4 years to find a striker and we brought Josh Sargent with us on this trip. Like, that's literally, we sent Ricardo Pepe to Europe to solidify him as the number 9 for America. He doesn't get on the plane.
That sounds like a rough end there, man. That's crazy. That's absolutely wild. So I guess I have to ask, man. So has Greg Berhalter solidified his role for the next World Cup cycle?
God, no. No.
Do you really think the U.S. would let him go?
No, I don't think the U.S. will let him go. I think here's the thing: not God forbid, but if the United States beats the Netherlands, Greg Berhalter is your coach of the 2026 World Cup. That's a fact.
Damn.
There's no way that this team of a bunch of kids, and I mean children, go to the quarterfinals of the World Cup and Greg doesn't keep his job. This isn't Mexico. You know, this isn't a place where you can just make it and then they'll fire you regardless. You know, that's a big ass deal for United States soccer to make a quarterfinal of a World Cup with this roster. This isn't like Vegeta said in, you know, Dragon Ball Z. This isn't even my final form. You know, this isn't even where we're supposed to be yet. This is the baby. This is the Charmander version of the 2026 Charizard we are supposed to be. You know, so if you do magic with this team, then yeah, you keep the job. But no, he shouldn't be the coach. No, he should not be the coach. He should not be the coach. I'm questioning if Ernie Stewart should be in charge either.
They hire Ernst Tanner.
Your roster construction for your World Cup squad was abysmal.
Yeah.
Was abysmal. And the problem is you didn't know who you were going to take up until October. You weren't even sure. How? What national team went through that level of uncertainty walking into the World Cup? I don't know one. Like they were talking about the Qatar national team, who's boo-boo, but they were supposed to be boo-boo, so I don't know why everyone was shocked by that. But they were playing with each other for 8 years.
That's crazy.
Like Qatar got the bid in 2010. They put together this team in 2013 and said, we are going to mold you into the team that will represent Qatar in 2022.
What a waste of time.
Oh my God, the absolute biggest waste of time ever. But that's a plan. That's a plan for a nation that knew it was going to go get its ass kicked at its own World Cup. So they said the best way we can do it is we are going to make you guys come together. You're going to play together more than any other. Like I think the Qatari national team played more minutes as like an 11 than any other nation on the planet over the past like 3 years. So like they were in every tournament. Like they were in the Copa America, they were
Yeah, I
in
remember
the
that.
Asian Championships, like any tournament that Qatar could get themselves into for experience, they got themselves into. So, and then they fucking terrible. But like but ultimately what that is they at least tried something that had some consistency with it. Like when I look at France, I know all of these people who are on the France roster. 80% of them were on the one that won the World Cup 4 years ago. You know, England's roster, I'm like, other than like a couple of these guys, I know every single one of these dudes are going to show up on this roster. America, I'm like, who's my left back? Is it Jedi? Is it someone else? How do I know? Musa, are you starting my right back position, or are you starting in midfield for me? Where does Brendan Aronson, who you could argue is superior to maybe 6 people who play on the field at any given moment, where does he fit? You know, where does Diarena fit? It just seemed to me, in your midfield, you're like Christian Roldan, what's his purpose? What is Jordan Morris's purpose? Is he your 4th striker? You brought 4 strikers? And Jordan Morris, who, God bless him, the least athletic looking soccer player in the last 25 years to play for the United States. He just looks like he should be playing linebacker for Wash U.
That's good. That's good stuff.
But and when you have to have hold up play, right? Like when you're in game 3 against Iran and you have a 1-goal lead and you can't give up that goal because if you tie, you're out. So you know what would help you? Possession. And you know who can handle possession at least a little bit? Jordan Morris, because you know who he's bigger than? Everyone. And then you give me Haji Wright. That alone is a fireable offense in my eye. Like if you lose that game, that's a fireable offense in my eye.
Triple G, man. Triple G. Adam, where are you gonna watch Saturday?
It's a good fucking question. I usually
Now that
have,
you say that.
I have a bar that I usually go to. Founding Fathers on South Street has usually been my vibe for most of the tournament. But because if it's like at 10 a.m., I'm like, I might as well watch it at home.
Brunch, bro.
Brunch. Eggs and eggs, my guy. And look, I got a soft spot for the Dutch in my heart. So whatever way this game goes, I'll be okay with. Grandly, like, you know, it's whatever. I'm a big fan of Holland, but look, you're playing with house money, America. So you don't need to win this for your impact to be felt. It just would help a lot, you know.
That's a good point.
But,
man. Good point.
yeah.
Adam, man, dude, it's always great having you on, man. It's a pleasure, brother.
I talked way too much, and I apologize, but it is what it is. I have a lot to say.
Dude, that's what we wanted you here for, man. We wanted to hear from Adam Booth, brother. Come on now. So what is the next stuff?
What's up?
When's the next SOB the pod dropping?
So tomorrow, hopefully, if Devin gets it together, we're not really in a particular rush now. It's fun when you like have time sensitive pods and then you don't, and then you're just like, all right, when you get to it, you know. But Sons of Ben the Pod should be dropping tomorrow. Shout out to our guy Tiago Vasquez. He is your new EMLS star. The man is super
already
excited.
better than JHI.
Look, man, grading on a fucking curve, my guy. Oh man, no, like publicity stunts are fun. Here's the problem: I work for the union now, so I can't even like badmouth it completely. But like, come on, man, what are we doing? Anyway,
great idea.
even like it's fine. Adam Can will hear this podcast and he'll be like gently nodding his head in the background, like, yeah, I don't know what we were doing either. But you know, legitimately, we got a new star, Tiago Capo is his handle.
Capo too?
Yeah, look, if he wants to do more Spanish chants, I'm here for that. All I got is Eric right now for my poppies. So if I get another one in here, I'm here for that. But yeah, he's in. He just got signed today. We're gonna be planning an event soon. Stay tuned because I think me and him are going to be rocking the new kits in a photo shoot soon. Those are out by they're not out, but those are done and they're circulating. I may or may not have seen it. It may or may not be fire.
I'm just gonna say no comment on that.
It may or may not be fire. All I'm saying is everyone should be like the excitement that people had for the lightning bolt kit, the Bayou kit. Yeah, should be up there, about comparable hype here. This was
some good things with these shirts, man. That's for sure. We're doing some good things lately with these shirts.
About damn time, Adidas.
It's crazy when you listen to your people, man. A lot of things, good things happen, man. That's
Nike
sure.
dropped the ball this World Cup, though. I was like, oh man, we need to get Nike jerseys. I'm like looking at Portugal, like, no, we don't. No, we don't.
I'm gonna try to copy the Timbers. It reminds me of the Timbers a little bit. Like
Bruh,
not
Nike dropped the ball, man. That was embarrassing. You had it's so weird. You're the number one manufacturer on possible planet Earth, and you just had like 8 teams. And like England looks bad, Portugal looks bad, the United States looks bad. Like all of your heavy hitters outside of Brazil look like trash. And I'm like, Nike, what you doing?
Brazil's colors make it easy though. You can make a sick.
It's a cheat code. Brazil's colors are a cheat code. That color scheme looks good virtually 99.9% of the time. Regardless, it's just like you get that yellow with that blue short pot combination, it's always going to look good. But Nike
green lining. God, I hate Brazil.
The lettering though is fucking terrible though. They look Comic Sans this year. I didn't like that. And yeah, of course you hate Brazil. You're South American, and they run your entire.
They do. That they do, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Adam. Adam, love you, bro. We'll hope to have you on too, bro.
Appreciate you having me on and letting me rant about life. This is more of a therapy session than a podcast today, so I'm
That's free, man. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Adam Booth. Thank you so much for listening on into today's episode of Dupe by the River. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe for more live viewings. We're available wherever you stream podcasts. Find us under Dupe by the River. That is Adam Booth. I go by the name of El Parcero Philly, and we're telling you guys to dupe on. Talk to you guys next week.